Welcome everyone to season 2 of Swimming with Sharks. No longer Adventures in Sales Ops, but Building Materials Marketing Unboxed. That's our theme for season 2, and thank you for those of you that are joining us today. As you can tell, things look a little different around here, and of course, many of these graphics are put together by the wonderful creative team at Manobyte, and we thank them for this new look and this new outlook that is here for season number 2, Building Materials Marketing Unboxed. So not only are we unboxing today this new season, but we also have Drew Ondrey with us from Southern Green Builders, who's going to be talking to us. He's boots on the ground. He is there every day. He is a leader in his space. And so for those of you that are a part of building, a part of materials, and even those of you that are part of marketing, listen, that's what we're talking about here at season 2, Building Materials Marketing Unboxed. So I am more than happy to bring to you today this premiere episode with Drew, because he is a leader in the space, and that's what we're going to be bringing to you on a regular basis here at Swimming with Sharks, Building Materials Marketing Unboxed. So thank you for those of you that are joining us today for our premiere episode. And so let's stop talking about it. Let's get right to it. Let's meet our guest for today. Our guest is an Aggie. Drew is a graduate of Texas A&M University. He enjoys spending time with his family outdoors. He's an outdoors guy. He is a Brownwater fan, a bourbon fan. I'm probably going to ask him about that today. He enjoys construction and what he does, and let me tell you, just talking with him, you can tell he enjoys what he does. The passion, everything that he does. You can tell that he enjoys not only construction but also his job. And what does he do? He is a partner with Southern Green Builders. Please welcome to the show, that's right, the premiere episode of season 2, Building Materials Marketing Unboxed. Please welcome Drew Ondrey. Hey Drew, thanks for joining us on the show today. It's good to have you here.
It's good to be here, Will. I appreciate the opportunity and look forward to talking with you more.
Yeah, same here. So, as I described to our audience in the introduction to you, so you're a bourbon fan. What do you recommend to our audience? What's your favorite bourbon? Does it depend? Educate us a little bit.
Well, I don't know how much education I can give, but usually if I can find a good bottle of Blanton's wherever we travel or at my local watering hole, I will grab that. It's kind of my go-to. So, that kind of fits the bill for me on a lot of different levels. So that's what I seek out.
Very good. I thought maybe you had a bourbon for around the fireplace, a bourbon for something else. But if that's the brand, what was the brand again?
It's Blanton's. And if they hear this, they can send it to me in Houston, Texas. I will gladly take it. But Blanton's I really like, and really any brown water is good by me.
All right, that sounds good. So, Drew, give our audience a little bit of context. What do you do? Where do you work? What do you do at Southern Green Builders?
Yeah, you bet. So Southern Green Builders, we're in Houston, Texas, and we are a custom builder and large ham renovator, remodeler. We started our business a little over 10 years ago, and it's myself and 2 other business partners, and we build anywhere between 15 to 20, 25 projects a year, and really focus on bringing a different experience to the client and to the building process. So we look to be the specifier of key products on the construction team. So we view ourselves as an important partner to that building team, where an architect is designing and drawing layouts. An engineer is checking and designing the structural components, and we are there to help specify and be a price checker to that design. We want to say there and go, if you client want to fit in $1 million budget, then you can or you cannot use this product. or you can use it. You just may be over that budget. So we look at ourselves as saying, hey, we're close to the product, we're close to the pricing, we're close to how it installs. And that's our expertise on the team. So we're looking to change the industry of that approach of let's draw it and then send it out to 3 or 4 bidders, and hopefully that price will come back in the spectrum what we need. We like to be on board at the beginning and design to a said budget and hit that target right out of the gate. So that's how we're geared to work. That's been our process, and we've had good success with it. It's definitely made the building experience more enjoyable for the end user and much more efficient for us. And it's enabled us to put in better performing products and materials instead of just having to meet the cheapest thing because there's a client who's only factoring their build on price. So we're able to build a better project in a whole.
That's a great explanation. You certainly gave us a lot to think about there. Would you say that, I want to go back to something that you had just mentioned. Would you say that that common practice of finding 3 bids and then moving from there, is that something that you're fighting against?
Absolutely. It's our construction is notorious for, well, that's the way we've always done it, so why are we going to change it? Which is the worst answer you can possibly give, in my opinion. So yeah, it's typically draw, bid, build, and there's no the only strategy to keeping it within budget is hope, and as we all know, hope is not a good strategy. So let's look at it from the beginning. What's your budget? What are you trying to do? And let's design to that. And we give out a price range from that. So we encourage people to get a set of schematics, and from those just raw schematic drawings, we have a process to give a range of pricing that says your build and your project will be between X and X. Are we still good to go forward, or do you need to make some changes now? And we are like the bumper guards on a bowling alley lane. We are there to keep people right here as they get their design process moving and really put their project together.
That sounds. It sounds like you're a real advocate for the customer.
Absolutely, man. As a custom builder, that's who our client is. That's who's living in these products, and that's who's going to be making it their home. So
that's a great way to put it. They're the ones that living in these products, and of course, obviously, that's the home. But you're responsible that you want this to last, and on top of that, you're also being an advocate for good pricing. Is that a pretty fair assessment?
Accurate assessment. Yeah, we mean when we take on our project, we're a fiduciary. We're responsible for the funds of the client. So we take that very seriously and are very processed and methodical and diligent in getting the best value for the client.
So tell me a little bit about that process. How, if you're looking for new products, new materials for a particular client of yours, how do you conduct that research to find that new product or material?
Sure. So a lot of my research is, I think, obviously internet. A lot of things start with a Google search, but outside of that, I look to make the relationships through larger conventions like the International Builder Show and IBS, regional shows as well. And then there are some other events where you can be a little more intimate, a little more one-on-one, and have that better connection. So in those things, that's where I look to go, because I like to make that relationship with the manufacturer of the product. A lot of, again, the way it's always been done is my local hardware rep guy tells me to use this product because it's good. Okay, well, that's great. But does he know the purpose of really why you're using that product? Does he know what that product's designed to do? Does he know the limitations of that product? And does he know the cost of that product? Chances are he knows the cost and he knows what he's making on that. And those are the key factors for the local distribution. But the manufacturer knows the product, what it's designed to do, and how it's designed to perform. And that's what we want to know as we're working through those specifications. Yes, we have an idea of cost and if it can be palatable to a client's budget, but as a whole, we're looking to make sure we get that right product in the right area to get the best build when we're on that design team and working through that design process.
So you had mentioned I want to go back to this Google search. So you probably turn up a lot of manufacturer websites. How do you feel about most of those building material manufacturer websites? Good, bad, and different. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, all of the above. There are some good ones out there, and there are some bad ones. Really, what I go to and what we want to find. So when we find a product or we spec a product, I'm gonna use Tyvek. It's just a pretty common product that a lot of people know. But when we use Tyvek or zip sheathing, we have a section that we load that in, and we go to that manufacturer website, and we're looking for a sales sheet. This is kind of a one-page info sheet of what the product is, how it performs, some specs about it. And we're looking for an install guide, and we're looking for a warranty. And we can usually grab a photo of it as well. Those four components are what we put together in our specs. And what that does is that helps clearly tell our client what they're getting. You're going to get Tyvek, and here it is. And some of our engineered clients want all the data. Some of our non-engineered clients don't care about it, but we need to know what it is as the builder to know how to price it with our trade base and know how to install it with our field superintendent crew. So we need to get that information regardless of what the client needs. We just have that there to share with them and really get clarity amongst the team. Hey, client, this is what you get. Hey, vendor, this is what you're putting in and how you need to price it. And superintendent, this is how you control it and make sure all of this happens to meet the expectation of the client with the expectation of what the vendor is expecting to install, and make sure that the quality controls are there. So when I go to their sites, that's what I'm looking for. If it's easy to find, it is so much better on my life and my team's life. If it's difficult, we will actually just not use a product, to be candid. If I can't find that, or I can't get a quick answer or a clear answer, it usually goes to the bottom of the list. So the sites that can easily find specifications, product information, install guides, those are the ones that we like to use more of. Those are typically the ones that also have a little bit better performance that I've seen, and better support overall. So that's where we look for once that Google search takes us to a site. There are, I won't disclose any names, but we've been looking for more of an architectural siding product, like a 4x8 sheet or a 4x10 sheet to give more of a modern siding look with some grooves and connectors in it. And the James Hardy has a fantastic site on how their product is and the specs and all that information. And there are about 4 or 5 other sites that sell that similar product that I cannot find that information for the life of me. So it's a little frustrating that now I have to call, which is fine. I don't mind calling, but I have to call, I have to wait, I have to find, and it just takes a lot more time, and that response slows down our process and how we try to work a product in. Because once we get that from a manufacturer, then we've got to try to find pricing and work that in. And typically I've seen that takes about 2 to 3 weeks to just get from sourcing, identifying, find a distributor, get pricing back to be able to work it into a bid. And at that point, we don't have that type of time frame when working through pricing exercises with clients.
Would you say that the design, the ease of use of a of a manufacturer's website, that's going to be pretty indicative of the type of or the level of service that you'll see outside of the website.
I would agree with that. Yes. And I think it is as they get larger here, the best companies we've worked with have a very effective site. They also have effective boots on the ground locally to answer the questions if the site doesn't have it there. And they are typically direct employees of that company, not a manufacturer's rep or another two-step type program. So, yes, that is in my experience over the last 4 to 6 years of really specifying materials and specifying the products we're using. The website is directly indicative of the support and service that we'll get along the design process and the build process.
Excellent. That's good to hear. So I hope building material manufacturers are paying attention. If you got a good website, then make sure that you're also make sure that you also are backing that good website up with good service. So Drew, give me an example of when you had to do some research and to kind of switch manufacturers. Maybe is there a particular product that you can give us an example of?
So we are currently doing some research now for a better bathroom shower system. So we're actively doing that. So, by just walking through my process, sure, it's Google shower systems or shower backer companies. Mm-hmm. So all of these, Google spits out, a handful of people, and we'll go down the list of company A, company B, and start looking through the products and I'll get an understanding of their system. How does this work? What's the underlayment? Is it go together with other products? And to get a general list of questions and then I will reach out to try to find that local person to answer those questions a little bit further. The good ones, we haven't completely solidified the product we want to specify as our staple, but we're definitely leaning in a solid direction on one right now. But those have been where we've done they've given us materials to do a test shower to see how easy it was. They came out on site and trained our crews, trained our field superintendents as well. And that is now done. So we're at an evaluation period. So it's a way that we can kind of date the manufacturer to see how their product really works and to see how their field support really is, and then how the product actually performs. Does it back up the way that they say it does? And not just buying on lip service alone, but put your money where your mouth is. Let's try one out. Typically, we're going to do 15 to 20 homes. We're not a great large builder by any means, but 15 to 20 homes at 3 to 4 showers a home. Well, we're going to do a few hundred showers every year.
All right.
So giving us one shower to test that out is, I feel like that's a fair trade-off. And so did they. So it gives us a way to date. It gives us a way to see the product. It allows our installers to ask questions and they learn about it. Which in turn they may want to use it on other projects that they work for other builders. So I think it's a win-win situation for everybody. And at that point, that's really where we're looking to make a switch, and then we discuss the economics of it. How do we get this product? What is it? What's the holistic cost? What's the lead time to get supply? All those standard questions. But it starts in that dating phase, from a Google search to formulating some questions. Reach out, we'll talk some more, maybe set up a test home. We'll actually do that and then make a switch to that product.
So those manufacturers that are doing that, that are going through that dating period, they're definitely going to be a front runner in your eyes?
Absolutely. And what we'll do is like I said, our selling process to clients is that we do this. We're continually researching. We're continually looking out there in the World Wide Web and at these trade shows. What's new? What's exciting? What have you heard about? What have we seen, so that when we have these conversations, we can say, this product here would be a good fit for what you're doing, and we can interject at that point. So um, we see that as really that value we bring.
Do you ever have a situation where you may not choose a particular manufacturer, but the quality's there, everything, you would possibly use them in the future? Do you maybe recommend them to someone else? Do you ever have that kind of a situation?
We have, yes. Yeah, and it comes down to that evaluation of what makes someone the front runner. Is it's a how easy, like I said, quality of the product, uh, the ease of procurement, the helpful trade of field local and local field support, and really just the pain in the rear end factor. So there's a lot of good products out there that are just way too darn difficult to get the product, or too difficult to get information about the product. And those definitely go lower on the food chain, because it's more money and resources that my team that I have to spend to go get it. And there are a lot of builders who don't go through the efforts that we do to try to make that happen.
Mm.
They're just going to plug in whatever, because again, that's what they've always used. We like to say, instead of that's what we always use, is we say we use this product and this product. They're both good products. And we try to have a staple of three different manufacturers, three different products for a certain category, i.e. sheathing. Like I said, a plywood or OSB and Tyvek is a great assembly. We believe a zip wall system is a great assembly. And also looking at Georgia Pacific's force field is a great assembly. Those are all three good ways to make the same thing happen at a high performance level. But it depends on the region. It depends on the customer. It depends on the application of which one we use as our forefront. So having that staple of different products to go to, like I said, sheathing's one of those, but siding is another, roofing underlayment's the other, shingles is another, windows are another. So we try to learn all that complexity that's in the industry, and then be able to translate it to the client and the end user client, but also the architectural client. And that's where we see that we can help make their lives easier. Is, hey, those guys, a lot of the architects that we work with, they are actually, all of the architects we work with are very, very talented and understand spatial design and how things flow and how things interact within a three-dimensional space before it even makes it to paper. And that's where they are experts at. They truly are experts at that. We try to interject their expertise by saying, hey, here in that scenario, we would recommend this product. And that combination has proven to be very, very, like I said from the beginning, very successful to the end user client. So definitely, when a manufacturer makes things easier and supports what they're doing, and we like to use those products.
That I love that explanation. That is a great explanation on the importance of just the relationship. So, is there anything else that manufacturers can do that would just make you happier with them, or more likely to choose them outside of what you already mentioned?
A lot of what just continuing to make it easier. I mean, I think that's just natural. The easier it is, it's there. But we have those set criteria that it's not just the easy sale. It's still got to be a quality product. It's still got to have some local support. It still has to have easy procurement, and it still has to have effective and good pricing to it. So it can't just be a one one category panacea. You got to fit the bill on several different ways, and we weight that of how we view some. There are some products that are absolutely top-notch quality, but they may have bad support. And there are some products that have fantastic support. Their product is going to fall apart. And it's just finding that sweet spot amongst all those criteria for our company and for our group.
Yeah, that sounds great. I hope manufacturers are listening out there to what can make the people that are on the ground out there putting their products into homes, what can make them happier. So I think that's a great answer. I'm going to switch things a little bit. What do you think in the building, in your space? What do you think everyone should start doing? What's going to be pretty important?
In what way?
Maybe from a kind of how what, not to give away any secret sauce here as to what you're doing in your business, but maybe assembling a design team right from the onset. What would be a great way to start doing?
I think that's where we've seen is a lot of it's changing the approach to building.
Okay.
That's probably the biggest change. I think as a whole, I think our industry can work to be more sustainable during the build process. Trying to eliminate waste on a construction site where possible, but I like efficiency. I work towards efficiency and really respect an efficient process or an efficient build. So less waste, less byproduct, the better for me. So, that's a kind of a loaded question, but that can hit at all levels. That can hit from the admin job to do a better takeoff. That can hit from the supply company to deliver a product better without damaged goods and a little bit of care when they deliver a product. That can work to the manufacturer to put some effort in their shipping package so that damage doesn't happen. So I think it can go across all, and definitely we have control of it on a job site of managing how a dumpster is filled or what is put into dumpster or possibly considered for recycling. So I think that's where, as a whole in our industry, we can look at we can improve some sustainability in the building practices.
So start looking at ways that you can be more efficient and sustainable. And I like your answer there because it's not just in one place. It's not just in the job site. I like what you said there, that it's in all places, that if we just examine how we're doing things and, as you said before, not do things the way we've always done it, there's some real opportunities, especially for sustainability. That's a great answer. I like that. That's a very, very good answer. So tell me a little bit about Southern Green Builders. Name something. Here's a brag moment for you. Name something that you've recently brought about or that you've implemented in your company that brought about some surprising results for you.
You bet. So this is going to sound a little silly, but it's made a huge impact with our team that we track our pre-construction, we track our construction and close out just like generally every builder does. We published it. We put it on a big board on the wall. That's probably not uncommon to a lot of people, but instead of a checkbox or anything like that, we bought everybody stickers. That was one of my teammates here said, "Yeah, I want gold stars for mine." So I said, "What the heck? Here's a roll of gold stars." Well, then the next person said, "Well, I want unicorns." It's like, sure, thank you, Amazon. Here's some unicorn stickers that showed up. So we had fun with that, smiley faces for another, and so this board has become something of a monotonous task tracker to kind of a fun item, and really, really loosened up the vibe in our office. And, who doesn't like a sticker, right? I mean, it takes you back to your 4 to 5 year old self that or your kids or grandkids or someone, just they love stickers, and that doesn't really fade whether you're 4 or 44. It's been a fun thing that was completely unexpected, kind of done as a joke and turned into a staple in how we mark completion.
I wonder how many people on your team go home, and if they have kids, they tell their kids, "Hey, check out my stickers. Look what I got today."
There may be a few.
A little bit of family rivalry going on there. I think that's great. So it's not just an ordinary punch out list.
Yeah.
You make it fun. I like that.
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Tell me something about something that you've recently achieved with your team. Maybe a process that you've recently that you're proud of.
Yeah, you bet. I think one of it was we really looked at becoming efficient. Like I said before, I thrive on efficiency, and we've worked that being consistent. It's the Southern Green Builders way of doing something. It's not Joe, the superintendent. He does his houses this way, and Bob builds his houses this way. It's Southern Green Builders builds houses this way. So we've worked to get that consistency in place in what we do and how we start a project from the lead opportunity all the way through the closeout and asking for referral.
So is that I would think that especially for a custom builder, that's probably there's a lot of factors that everybody's different. There's a lot of factors that go into there. How were you able to implement that? Obviously, not giving away trade secrets here, but what was one of the ways that you were able to implement that consistency, especially in a custom environment?
The key is how good the manufacturer's information is. And that's the honest truth, because we pull a spec sheet, an install sheet, and a warranty page from whatever product we use. But how easy that is to get that information makes our consistency and our ease of build and communication that much more effective.
Oh, that's terrific. I love how it just brought it full circle. I mean, the manufacturing helping you become a consistent custom home builder. And I think that's important. That's great answer there. I hope manufacturers are listening, because that truly helps you thrive in your business. So taking things a little bit differently here, give me what's the best advice that you've ever received? It could be in business, life in general. Best advice you've ever received.
Well, there's a handful of best advice items that I've gotten. One of the ones I'd heard back in college was you can make a good living from 8 to 5, but you can make a great living from 5 to 8. And trying to just put that to practice as we got started. But really, the one that's always held true is be firm and fair. That's a message that I was taught at a young age by family, and then continued to be taught as my experience as I got into the workforce out of school. That it's be firm and fair. You don't want to be the guy who is trying to take one over and take advantage of people. There's a give and take in a relationship, and as long as you're fair, nobody can ever really be mad at you. They may be but they are more likely mad at a situation or themselves. But if it's fair and factual, you really can't argue with the facts, and just to be fair about them. So
that is great.
That's been a big one for me.
I think that's great advice, no matter what business you're in or just in life in general. That's really, and it seems to me, based on your success at Southern Green Builders, that it's something that you're able to implement in your business as well and be successful.
We're trying every day. Yes.
Hey, that's all you can do, right? I mean, just do your best every day. Probably another good piece of advice right there. So good stuff there, Drew. I appreciate you being on the show. Any final, maybe you want to get on a little bit of a soapbox? Is there one other part of, oh, well, we've always done this, that just drives you crazy, that people should just stop doing?
Oh, that list could I don't know if we have enough time for that. But, I just encourage, just take a pause in the day and just walk through your day. Why do you can do a self audit, whether it's personally or professionally, but why do you get up and do the routine in the morning you do? Why do you turn on the news and stress yourself out over things you can't control? Or would it be better spent to plan out your day and how you can really conquer what's important? So just do a self audit and ask a lot of questions, and take a day or time. It's a fun activity, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to find at least one thing that you realize maybe could be done differently, but you never would have known unless you took the opportunity to self-examine it.
And I was talking about manufacturers here or for builders, but you gave us yet another life lesson here. Just question everything. I like it. Yeah, that's very good. Excellent stuff. Well, Drew, listen, I appreciate you being on the show today here on Building Materials Marketing Unboxed. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of the success with Southern Green Builders. And of course, as you move up in the world and as you, hopefully have more opportunities to speak to others on topics like this as a leader in your space.
Well, I appreciate it, Will. The pleasure's been mine, and thank you again for asking us to come on board. It's been fun.
Thanks again, Drew, for joining us today. And of course, he gave us a lot of things there. Not only great business lessons, but also life lessons. But also for the material manufacturers out there, what he is looking for as a custom home builder, and how he finds new suppliers and what's important to him. And of course, I think one thing that really stuck out to me, at least, and hopefully maybe you identified this as well, is that ease of use. How easy is it to find the information that I am looking for? And how much information are you able to provide? Because then Drew is able to take that information and really bring it full circle and bring the most possible value to his customers, which of course makes him look good and of course makes his company successful as well. So if we were to take all this information and kind of distill it into one sentence, I would probably title it something like this: how custom home builders are searching for new construction material suppliers in 2021. And as you heard, and maybe you need to rewind and listen to it again, but there's some great information there. The way that Drew starts is with a Google search. And so how are you optimizing your website? How are you optimizing the information that's there? And how easy is it to find you and the information that you are providing? And so we want to thank Drew again for joining us today. So thanks so much, Drew. If you want to get in touch with him, he's very active on LinkedIn. So seek him out, as well as Southern Home Builders on LinkedIn. And that's how you can communicate with him. And until next time, if you would like to have a discussion or talk about some of the things that we talked about here, or if you want to know more about Manobyte and how we help building material manufacturers, let's start a conversation. Of course, you can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. But of all of those, LinkedIn is where we spend a lot of our time. And so until next time, thank you for those of you that joined us for this premiere episode of Season 2, Building Materials Marketing Unboxed. And we appreciate you, whether you joined us here on the live show today, or if you're listening at home on your favorite podcast platform. Of course, you can find us there. Just search for us there. And so until next time, follow us on all of the socials. And if you'd like to contact Drew, get in touch with him on LinkedIn. And until next time, please take care of yourself and each other. And whatever life unboxes for you today or in the weeks ahead, may it be great.